Okay, so as I suggested, if you want to tune into that Leo full moon fire, light a candle, put on some fun music, no requirements. Or if there's any way that you can think of to make this more of a unique sort of a joyful practice. And then let's come to our seat. Just make sure you have, your usual stuff, blanket, blocks, anything that will make the practice more safe. And you can sit however it's comfortable. So I'm sitting in Vajrasana, I'm sitting on my heels, but you can sit in Sukhasana, you can sit in a chair. And let's just come into the body. So I have my little candle here. I was teaching yesterday and I like moved it too quickly and I like knocked out the can, like the fire. So I'm gonna try not to do that today. And then I want you to take your hands and make an upside down triangle. So the thumbs touch and the index fingers touch. And we're gonna place it just below the ribs. So it's kind of like framing your belly button, okay? So like your belly button is in that triangle. And then sit up nice and tall. So if this is too much, you're welcome to relax the hands. And just start to take some slow breaths into the solar plexus. So if you've been practicing with me in my other classes, we were working the third chakra this week, which was on purpose for the Leo full moon and the Imbolc. And even though we're not specifically going to be fully in the third chakra, this is the seat of fire. This is the seat of Agni. And so the yantra, the symbol for the third chakra is it's a lotus. They all have lotuses. All the chakras have lotus flowers. This one has a round golden center with 10 orange petals. And then in the center is this upside down triangle. And so we are connecting to that upside down triangle. So this is the solar plexus. This is the shining jewel. This is the fire. So imagine this place where you're holding, you can see a little fire in there. Maybe it's a candle. Maybe it's a bonfire. Maybe it's the sun. And as you breathe, you want to fill up that part of your body so you can feel your hands lifting. And so this is also the bottom of the diaphragm, right, where it connects to the front body. And so filling that up. And while you're breathing, just imagine about around the crown of the head, above the crown of the head, that full moon. And so as you inhale and fill the belly up, you're lifting, lengthening through the crown towards that full moon. As you exhale, the belly draws in and we pull that moon energy down. And so this is the fixed fire full moon. Again, it comes right around the middle of winter to remind us that the light is returning, to remind us that our passion, our purpose, our devotion, our play, our loyalty and royalty is still vital, because it's very easy in the winter to get lost in the cold and in the dark. And so we're feeling into our own nature. And the fixed fire symbol is the lion or the lioness. In the indigenous traditions of these lands, this moon is connected to the wolf. So I do love that imagery of the wolf moon, the lion moon. And so in the practice today, we'll just kind of play a little bit with kind of calling that in. So like I said, maybe putting on music or lighting your candle. Like how can you sort of play with that inner wild, that inner playful, especially if you're not feeling energized, especially if you're not feeling inspired. So how can we reconnect to that loyalty and royalty within our own belly, our own heart? And as we move into midwinter, as we enter the initiation of Imbolc this coming week, the month of February, we want it to be with that fire of our hearts ablaze as we continue into this next cycle. And go ahead and take another big breath in, fill your belly, fill all the way up to the crown, hold, and then squeeze your pelvic floor, squeeze your belly. And as you were squeezing the spinal fluid all the way up to the crown, that full moon energy, focus at the crown of the head, squeeze the pelvic floor, and then open mouth, exhale. We're gonna do that again, but we're gonna add lion's breath. So we're gonna hold the breath, squeeze everything up, lock the belly back, lock the pelvis back, hold at the top, visualize that full moon, and then you'll exhale, stick out the tongue, okay? So inhale, fill everything up. Once you think you're full, squeeze pelvic floor, squeeze belly, lock the rib, like everything back, hold up at the crown, hold, sit tall, squeeze, feel the heat, and then lion's breath. And then again, inhale, fill everything up. At the top, lock back the pelvic, lock back the belly, lock back the ribs, lock it back, squeeze. Imagine that full moon circulating above the crown. Hold. Lion's breath. Last time, make it your best yet. Inhale, fill all the way up. Fill up that triangle, lock everything in and up, pull that all the way up to the crown. Imagine that fire full moon up at the crown, and lion's breath. Slide one hand to heart, keep one hand at your belly. Take a few deep breaths. So in Chinese medicine, fire lives in the heart. And then in our chakra system, our tantric system, it's in the solar plexus. In astrology, Leo also rules the heart. So there, regardless of the system you look at, we want the belly and the heart to be in alignment. We want to harness our courage and passion and mix that with compassion and love and devotion. And so we're going to chant the seed sound of our fire chakra, which is Ram, 3 times, and then we'll invoke the moon. So take a big breath in. And just feel the heat of the breath, the vibration of the sound. And then inhale, sweep the arms up towards that full moon. Exhale, pull it down through the body. And then again, inhale, circle, reach, big stretch. Exhale, draw it down. And this last time, if you want, as we pull down, we'll chant Om Chandraya Namaha. Inhale. Om Chandraya Namaha. Inhale, reach up. And then as you exhale, bring your arms down by your sides. If you're sitting on your heels, let me just mute everybody. If you're sitting on your heels, we're going to scooch over to the right, or you can just change the body. So we're sitting in Bharavajasana. So sitting over to the right, you can have your shins stacked, or right foot resting on the left thigh. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to start to move through the side body. So your right sit bone is down, the left hip might be up. And so there's just a little kind of cross to the legs, or like I said, right foot on the left thigh, left heel coming in towards the left glute. So start to wake up the core, soften the jaw, opening the side body. If you want a little more fire, then barely use your arms here. Or even as you come down, really stretch up and over. Soften the jaw, soften the face. So you can keep working with fire. Again, if you are working with music, you can get that started, get that going, and listen to your body. So when the moon is in Leo, we have to pay attention to the inner child. We have to pay attention to where we need play and attention and affection, and also how we express ourselves and being seen. So Leo likes the spotlight. It's happy to share it, but it does need to also be in it. And so this is very much the inner child, the inner play, the creative, the imagination. Go ahead and hold whatever side you land on here, and just really reach up and open. Soften the jaw, soften the face. And then stretch up and over. So make your movements big today. Make them dramatic, playful, joyful. Leo also likes romance, so like grandiose romance. So again, tonight, maybe treat yourself to some self romance, or, you know, your partner, friends, fur babies. Bring a little, you know, candlelight, and again, fun music and play. Inhale, bring it up. And then right hand behind you, left hand to right knee twisting here. Shake out the head a little bit, soften the jaw. Relax the face. Again, sitting nice and tall, regal. So that's another quality. Leos have a regal quality to them, the ruler of the jungle, right? Or again, even the wolf has that regal nature, that courageous nature. Take another breath. Open mouth, exhale. As you shift your body, draw your legs up. So coming right into boat pose. Feet can stay down or you can go right into having feet lifted. So finding your boat, roll the shoulders back, lift up. And we're just gonna do a little pulse in our boat. So you can have your feet down and your hands to your hamstrings, or you can be up. And just a little pulse. So just starting to wake up the fire chakra, the fire energy. One of the things I like about boat is that you have to keep your heart lifted in Navasana, right? If we start to round here, we actually cut off the upper abdominals. We don't get to feel that engagement. Stay with the breath and then hold. And again, can you bring that sense of playful and regality into the heart, into the chest, even if your belly starts to shake, take an inhale. And then exhale, bring your hands down, bring that left hip down, second side. So stacking the shins or left foot resting on right thigh, go into that side body flow. So moving with your breath. Softening the jaw. And so we were talking at the beginning too about people's individual astrology and elemental charts. And then also too in Ayurveda, in Chinese medicine, we all have certain elements that are either abundant or deficient in our unique makeup. And so sometimes the fire energy is great. Even if you're someone who feels like you have a lot of fire, sometimes a conscious fire practice can balance it. It can move it through you rather than your default. And then the same thing if you tend to feel more deficient in fire. So it's all about exploration. And again, Leo is bright and shining. It's the energy of the sun. It's the only astrological sign that is ruled by the sun. Go ahead and hold whatever side you're on. Again, open, stretch, big movements, turning the heart towards the sky. Take another breath, and then stretch up and over to the other side, hold, and you choose, again, how big, how bright, but just connecting to your own heart, your own core. Soften the jaw, be mindful of your neck. So take care of yourself so that you can sit tall, stand tall. Take another big breath. And then from wherever you are, we want to bring the left hand behind, right hand to left knee, and sit up to twist. So this twist to me always feels very aesthetic. It always feels very kind of royal, right? Sitting up nice and tall, soften the jaw, soften the face, you can smile. So the inner child, right? Like the inner child is either laughing or tantruming or sleeping, right? Like that's my inner child. There's not a lot of in between there. And take another big breath in. Exhale as you unwind. Can you again shift the weight to the sit bones and bring yourself back into the boat? And again, find that pulse. So feet down. You can even take the hands behind you. But again, stay with your heart as you connect to your core, right? So we're kind of making sure we get that fire energy through third and fourth chakra, the heart and the solar plexus. Right, so we're in initiation time. The midwinter energy, the Imbolc, is where if you've planted seeds at solstice, that combination of water and sun has cracked the seed open and it's beginning to establish roots, but it's also starting to shoot towards the light. Hold your boat. So we have to have that energy, that fire, that vitality for that seed to be able to crack open and reach. Take another breath. Maybe smile, and exhale, release. Whew. Come to all fours. Feel free to place a blanket under your knees. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you something kind of silly. I like never teach kids yoga. because they're not as easy to teach as adults. They're not as interested in being a captive audience. But I specifically taught a kids class as a favor for a friend this week, and it was for the full moon. And so we were talking about the lion and the wolf. So for our cat cow, we renamed it Wolf and Lion. So cow was the wolf getting ready to look up at the full moon, and then cat was the lion stretching. So as we move through our movement, I want you to think about that wolf and that lion. If you want to, as you inhale into wolf, you can let out a howl as you round back into that lion. Ooh. And then you can even kind of push back towards child's pose, or you can just imagine it. But we're going to be here for a few moments. And so you can just stay with the wolf and the lion movement here. You can add in the howling if your body feels like it. Again, you can take that exhale all the way back to child's pose before you come back up. And just feel into this movement. So from the core, finding some playfulness. We actually, too, because it was kids yoga, so I don't usually make them do a lot of chanting. So we did our woos, kind of like our ohms at the beginning and end. It was super fun. This is probably the one class I can kind of get away with that in. So feel free to let out your best wolf howls. Ooh. And like I said, even though we're moving out of the full moon, we're in this fire energy, at least for the next week. And we're going to still be in that initiation. So we really want to let that penetrate and permeate into our cells, bring the light, the warmth, the heat into our cells. Few more rounds. And again, add in anything else here. You know, when we've done this sequence, we've added the downward dog. In my kids sequence, I pretty much thought of any poses that had any version of a dog or a cat and made those into lions and wolves. And it was actually a pretty good class. And the kids I had they seemed mostly to be interested, but it's hard enough to teach kids when you have them in a room. And then when you're on Zoom, it's a whole other thing. But I like that. And I do like that about when I occasionally do get to teach kids, because you have to bring in the creativity. You have to bring in the tangible with them. Otherwise they lose interest. And this is a perfect time to find that in your life too, to find that in all of our lives, especially if you're getting restless and frustrated. A few more rounds, maybe a few more howls. Oh. And then we're going to settle into puppy dog, of course, right? So think about this as wolf pup, right? Stick your sit bones up, spread your fingers forehead down or chest down. Draw the belly in. You can wag your tail a little bit. This can also be another lion pose as well. So if you have an affiliation with the lion or the wolf, then you can bring that in, right? Have your own connection to those regal, powerful creatures. And then come back to all fours. Stretch the right leg up behind you. Lift the left arm. Lengthen and extend. Inhale. Exhale, hug elbow to knee. And we're going to stay with this. So if this is too much, place the hand down and just pulse the knee in. Otherwise, again, feeling the fire. We're also extending from the heart, balancing the brain. Couple more. Hold as you round in. And now stretch back, reach back, and then just bend the right leg if that's okay. So this is tiger tail, but stay with my metaphor, right? Lion's tail. And then if you want, reach back for the foot. You don't have to hold it, but this opens the heart. And if you are able to grab the foot, really again, kick back, lift up through your heart, stretch up through the spine, open, shine, take a big breath. And then as you exhale, release the left hand down. Let's drop right foot behind left heel for our variation of side plank. You can even turn that left foot in a little bit. Right arm reaches up. Up and overhead. You can lift that right leg again. Can you stretch with integrity, with regality? Open your chest, soften your jaw. Take another inhale. Exhale, release it back down. Plant your hands, lower your knees, wag your tail. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg extends, and again, you might just keep the leg up or reach the right arm. Ground, so feel connected, and then exhale, hug in. And find that pulse. Elbow and knee, or maybe just knee. Press down through the left hand. Couple more. Hold elbow to knee. And then stretch it out, reach, and then maybe just find that tail. So bend the toes up towards the ceiling. Stay here, or just reach the right arm back. So when we reach the right arm back, we open the heart more. That's more interesting than trying to force the hold of the foot. But if you're able, then kick that foot up, lift your heart, soften your jaw, press down through the left hand, inhale. And then as you exhale, right hand comes down, left foot plants behind right heel, top arm up and over, or lift that bottom leg. The extended leg. Open your chest. So just think again, everything you're doing with that integrity and courage and confidence, even if you're just playing with that idea. Maybe you don't feel that confident in these poses, but how could you play with feeling more confident? And then release. Whew. Wag your tail. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, plank pose. So this can be a modified plank on the knees. So plank on the knees is different from all four. So sometimes it's helpful to lift up into plank for just a second and then lower the knees down. So you'll notice there's more of like a plane into the body. The butt is not straight up in the air. So just a reminder, if you are working modified plank, and you can get a lot out of the abdominals in modified plank if you're doing it correctly. You can also do like a bear, another animal, right? Lions and tigers and bears, by hovering the knees. So from tabletop, you can lift and hover knees. And I know you're still in a pose, but I'm just trying to distract us a little bit. Take another breath. Exhale, downward dog. Whew. Walk it out a little bit. Stretch, and always child's pose, always an option. Inhale. And then exhale, come back to plank, modified plank, or bear with the knees hovering. Draw the belly in, press your hands out. Can you smile here? Can you feel into that heat? Take one more big breath. Exhale, downward dog. Whew. Wiggle it out. And then make your way Uttanasana, forward fold. Bow over the legs. Shake it out. And then slow roll up to stand. Standing tall. These are my sweatpants that I live in the second the temperature drops below 65. I have a couple pairs that are my favorite. Press down through your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. As the hands come down, flip them, make that upside down triangle, place it around framing your belly button. Roll your shoulders down and back, press through your feet, standing tall. We're gonna do that breath with the lion's breath. So as you inhale, fill the belly, fill up, and then squeeze the pelvic floor, squeeze the belly, squeeze everything up. So pull everything up like you're pulling it to the crown where that full moon energy is shining down. And then lion's breath. 2 more. Inhale, 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 fill up, fill up, fill up, and then squeeze. So if you work with bandhas, it's Mula Bandha, the Mula Bandha and the Uddiyana Bandha and the Jalandhara Bandha, and squeeze everything to the crown. Focus on that full moon. Last time, inhale everything up, fill up that triangle, fill everything up, and then squeeze it in and up, all the way up to the crown. Hold, hold, hold. Release your hands. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Right hand grabs left wrist, pull up and over to the right. If you want more, bring the the right foot behind the left, coming onto the right toes. Squeeze the legs as you stretch up and over. Roll the shoulders down, so a little bit of balance there. Soften the jaw, soften the face. And then step back, reach the arms up, switch the clasp, pull up and over. Maybe the left foot comes behind the right ankle. Roll the shoulders down, soften your elbows, pull the belly in. And then inhale, reach up, step back. Exhale, hands to heart. Step or jump yourself open to wide legs. Turn your toes out. So not super, super wide stance, toes turned out. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Bend the elbows, bend the knees. So find that pulse through temple. Sitting back, pressing down through your feet. Soften the jaw. Building a little heat in through the hips. And as we pull the elbows down, we're opening up through the heart. Right? So roll the shoulders down, really lift your chest, sit back into your heels. The knees don't come past the toes. Belly in, keep going. And again, this doesn't have to be super heating. You don't have to come that far down. Just keep drawing those shoulders down. Soften the jaw. And hold. Roll the shoulders back, press the knees open, draw the belly in. And then try to keep the legs strong. Exhale, right elbow towards the right thigh. And then back up, and then left. So we're connecting to the side body, we're connecting to the core. If this is too much, you can always take the hand down. So like forearm to thigh. So kind of like how we do in our warrior flows. Or keep that goalpost and bring the kind of the sharp elbow to the thigh. Draw the belly in. Try to keep those knees bent, but if you need to come out of it, listen to the body. So again, when it stops being fun, work can be fun, right? Heat can be fun. A few more. One more to each side. Pause and center, roll the shoulders back. Can you lift up through your heart? Take a deep breath in. Lion's breath. Good, stretch yourself up, reach up. Exhale, turn the right toes forward, left toes in, sweep everything out, Viratu. So coming into that warrior two. So standing tall. Soften your jaw, open your heart. Take a big breath. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Roll your chest open, draw the belly in. Breathe into the heart, into the belly. Exhale, right forearm to thigh, left arm overhead. If you want more, lift that bottom arm off the thigh. Roll your chest like you were holding that big full moon in your arms. Take one more big breath. And then inhale, reach it all the way up. Exhale, arms wide, coming right into side two. Turn left toes left, right toes in. Find your warrior two. Regal, confident, powerful. Settle in. So extend the energy through your fingers. Hug the belly in. Bend into that front knee. And then reverse your warrior. Heart open, jaw soft, legs strong. Draw that belly button towards the spine. Exhale, left forearm to thigh, right arm up and over. Or again, maybe you hold that moon energy, that solar energy, the waxing sun, the full moon. Take one more breath. And then bring it all the way up. Turn your feet forward, even slightly pigeon-toed. Hands to hips or clasp the hands. Roll your chest open, lift up tall, and then bow forward. You can let the hands stay at the hips or the sacrum or stretch them up and overhead. Shake out the head. Soften the jaw, so keep opening through the heart. Ground out some of that heat. Press through the four corners of the feet. And then release your arms down. Lift up halfway, right hand under the face, left arm shines open, open twist. Press your hips back. Inhale. Exhale, left hand comes down. Right arm shines open, top hand can come to the hip. Roll your chest open. Soften your jaw. Deep breath. Exhale, release. Heel toe your feet in. Folding over the legs. And then slow roll up. Inhale, gather at the top. Exhale, hands to heart. Coming to the top of the mat. Feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, soft knees halfway. Exhale, right leg steps back, knee to the earth. Inhale, gather up, Anjaneyasana, big stretch. Exhale, pull it down, place your hands, step back to down dog. You can also always do the wolf, lion, or anything you want, or roll forward towards plank. Exhale, lower the knees, lower the chest down. Pelvis heavy, hug the elbows in, curl up, cobra. Soften the jaw. Exhale, push the floor away, push back, down dog or down wolf. Reach the right leg up high, that lion tail, tiger tail. Inhale. Exhale, right foot between the hands, back knee down. Inhale, gather that energy up towards the full moon. Exhale, bring it down to earth. Keep looking up, heart stays lifted, step up and bow. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, gentle Utkatasana. There is such a thing. Press down through the feet, reach all the way up. Hands to heart. Other side. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, bow to earth. Inhale, lengthen, soft knees. Exhale, left leg back, knee down. Inhale, gather, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands come down. So push back, down dog or whatever version. Or roll yourself forward. Feel the fire in the core. And then lower the knees, come to the earth. And offer the heart. And then press it back. Find that lion tail, lift the left leg up. And then bring it forward, lower the back knee, sweep it up. Inhale, exhale, hands down, look forward, heart stays lifted as you step up. Bend the knees into that soft chair, sink down. Inhale all the way up, lift your heart. Hands to heart. We'll do one more set of that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, right leg back, knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, reach for the moon. Exhale, hands to earth. Down dog, down wolf, whatever version. Or roll towards plank. Ashtangasana, knees down, lower. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, push back. Right leg stretches up, lion's tail, open the hip here, stretch. Exhale, bring it forward, back knee down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Look up, heart lifted, step up into that chair. Sink down and then reach it up, lift up. hands to heart. Last side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift. Left leg back. Inhale, gather. Exhale, release, push back, find your flow. And maybe forward plank, knees down, Ashtangasana, down to belly. Curl up, cobra. Push it back. Left leg lifts up, open the hip, lion's tail. Bring it through, back knee down. Sweep it up. And down. Looking up, heart stays open, step into that chair. Sink down. And then stretch it up. Hands to heart. Hand to heart, hand to belly. Feel the body. Feel that full moon energy swirling above your crown, feeding into the heart, feeding into the solar plexus. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. As we exhale, we're going to transition to the belly, so you can do that via plank or however that makes sense for you. And coming on to the belly, you can work with Sphinx, right, on the forearms. It's one of my favorite variations, Cobra, or we're going to play with a little bit of Shalabhasana, with a little bit of a locust. So the first version of locust is arms down by the sides, reaching towards the toes. And you always start by lifting upper body first. If that's appropriate, you point the toes and lift the legs. So this is locust 1. Locust 2 is to do the hand clasping, the chest expansion. Locust 3 is the arms to the sides and either goalpost or like airplane. And then the 4th is to have the arms extended. So you can choose a sphinx, a snake, or a locust. We're going to do a couple of these. So listening to that will, go ahead and roll yourself up. And you can always change your mind. You can transform from a cobra to a locust. And even within locust, you might vary the arm. So find that playful creativity, that heat. So this is stretching out the abdominals. This is opening and strengthening the heart and the back body. Take another breath. Exhale, release, make a little pillow for the head. Rock your hips, even bend the knees. So feeling that heat, right? Okay, so we're gonna do that again. You can always just rest if you've had enough. I mean, lions are very good at teaching you to spend most of the day sleeping and eating. And then when they need to pounce, they can pounce, right? So you can do another variation here or rest. And so just moving with your breath, moving with the body, moving with the fire and the heat. Soften the elbows wherever you are, soften the face, make sure the neck is soft. Lift up through the hips, take another big breath in. Exhale, release. Okay, so we're gonna do one more, and you can do any of those. If bow is in your practice, you can play with bow. So sometimes I usually will try to get a quad stretch, and we did a little bit when we were in our tabletop. But for bow, both legs come back, and you want to make sure the feet stay about hip width distance, and then one hand at a time grabs the foot. So just like if you couldn't reach your foot when we were on all fours, then maybe today's not the day to work bow. But if you're able to comfortably get the feet, so the knees are still with distance, you kick back, point the toes or flex the feet, shoulders draw back, gaze is forward. And you can start to build a little momentum. So this is great for solar plexus, great for heart. My shoulders like bow for about 2 seconds, and then I have to come back into locust. So listen to your body. We're gonna just take about 3 more breaths in any variation of a heart opener here. So breathe into whatever creature, shape you are, that fire energy is transforming into. Inhale and exhale, let it go. Rock your hips out. You can let out a howl too if there's a lot of heat building. And then when you're ready, if you're ready, we'll push back up to the knees and we'll come to sit. So bring a blanket with you. Extend your legs. Give them a nice little shake. Rock out the hips a little bit. Roll your shoulders. How are we doing? I think I lost somebody. Maybe that was too much fire. Bring the soles of the feet together, up on your sits bones. Then let's just circle it out. I don't think we've officially done circles yet today. So as we transition, soften your jaw. Let the head and the neck go. Feel that full moon light swirling around the crown, activating the fire in the body. Reverse the direction. Just honoring yourself for practicing today, whatever it looks like, especially if you are exploring the fire or the music or just bringing that element of playfulness. Romancing yourself in your practice. Come back to center. So you can stay in Baddha Konasana and do the forward fold here. We're going to move into Agni Stambhasana as our hip opener, which you could also do as a sleeping pigeon. So otherwise, we're going to bring the right shin forward. Make sure you're up on the right sit bone and then cross the left ankle over the right thigh. So you do want to stack the ankle over the thigh. So again, on the back, right, it would look like, you know, having the ankle over the thigh lying down. You can also just stay in bound angle because we can be there easily for a few minutes. So up on your sits bones, shins are stacked. And sometimes I like to put a block, if it makes sense for your body, between my top leg and my bottom, like under the knee. And breathe. And so the hands can rest at the earth, at the feet. You can start to press forward, rock it out. So this is always my kind of hip opener with the fire signs because it's the fire log. And it does build some heat. In my yin class this week, they had to do this pose and they did dragon. So that was a lot of fire. You can move into it. And then if you want to try a couple variations, whatever leg is on top, take the opposite hand to that hip. So my left leg's on top. So my right hand comes to my right hip, and then I'm reaching my left arm overhead for a side bend. And so while my left arm's coming up and over, I want to ground my left thigh. So if you're precariously stacking your shins, this may not work because you have to ground that left hip. And open the chest, find that bright, big movement of the heart. And draw the belly in, press through your feet. And again, you can just always fold forward. Otherwise, take another breath. And then exhale the left hand. So my left leg is on top. So my left hand comes behind the left hip. My right hand to left knee. So whatever leg is on top, the opposite hand will cross. And again, try to ground that thigh, lean back, open the heart. Deep belly breaths. If you're in the twist, exhale forward. I'll just take a few more breaths in the hips. Inhale, lion's breath. So carefully roll yourself up. If you're on the back, you can just kind of hug the knees in there, and you'll do sleeping pigeon on this other side. If you're in fire log, uncross that bottom leg and then the top, give it a little shake. And for fun, you can take boat between sides, if that's your idea of fun. Lifting the chest, opening the heart, where you can come back to down angle or just pause. Otherwise, finding your boat, lifting your heart, draw the belly in. Take another big, 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 big breath. Exhale, release, switching sides. So for me, my left shin will come forward, make sure I'm on my left sit bone, and then my right leg on top. I've been kind of reversing my, because most of the time we do the right leg first, and sometimes I try to do my tighter side first, just to vary it up. And it's okay if, if you did fire log on side one, but then for this side, you need to lie down or come into bound angle. And if you're in bound angle, then you can do the side bend and the twist. Can't really do that on the back, but that's okay. It's totally fine to just enjoy the hip opener. And again, you can place the block. Relax the shoulders. A few of you have been to a few classes with me this week, and I know we've done this pose a few times, but again, I don't make the rules. This is just one of the poses for this week. And if you did play with the side bend and the twist, so my right leg's on top, so my left hand will come over to the left, my right arm overhead, I ground that right hip as I take the side bend. My other side, I have my closet right here that I could push into, which was nice. But here I got to push a little bit more into the earth. Soften the jaw. Relax your face. Again, you can always just come back to the hip opener, or if you are in the side bend and want to come to the twist, the opposite hand will come to that top knee. So the same side hand will come behind, opposite hand to the knee. Sit tall and twist. And then exhale and out. Can we fold through center for just a few more breaths? So this can be nice on the hip flexors from some of the core work and the warrior work. Deep breath in, lion's breath out. Slowly, sweetly unwind. Bottom leg comes out first, then the top. Shake it out. Option to do one more boat pose if you'd like. Lifting up into your boat, tug the knees towards each other, draw the belly in. Shine the heart, smile, and then if it's available, can you roll all the way down onto your back? One vertebra at a time. And as you come down, pull your knees to your armpits, coming into happy baby, or just draw some circles. Take a few breaths here. Give yourself a nice little massage. Make sure you circle both ways. Inhale, fill the belly, fill yourself all the way up to the top. Hold. And then open mouth, exhale, hug everything in. So you can just stretch out for Shavasana. You can take your legs up the wall or chair. You can lie over the bolster, pillows. Again, we have a shorter Shavasana for this practice. I teach restorative right after. So you're always welcome to leave the meeting if you want to just have that extended Shavasana. Otherwise, let yourself just take up a few minutes of space. Good. Feel the earth underneath you. Soften the jaw. Imagine that you are lying under the full fire moon. And again, it's just shining down through your crown, your face, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your belly, your pelvis, all the way down to your legs. And you can just let go into this midwinter earth, feeling the stirring, the quickening, the heat, working through your circuitry, working in the seeds planted in the earth at solstice that are starting to reach for the light. But in this moment, there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. Just receive the blessings of this fire full moon. Adishakti, 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 Namo Namo. Sarabashakti, 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 Namo Namo. Pritham Bhavati, Pritham Bhavati, Pritham Bhavati, Namo Namo. Kundalini, Mata Shakti, Mata Shakti, Namo Namo. Adishakti, 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 Namo Namo. Sarabashakti, 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 Namo Namo. Pritham Bhavati, Pritham Bhavati, Pritham Bhavati, Namo Namo. Kundalini, Mata Shakti, Mata Shakti, Namo Namo. Namo Namo. Namo Namo. Namo Namo. Namo. First force of all creation, to you we bow. Primal force, to you we bow. Creative force, to you we bow. Rising up, Divine Mother, to you we bow. To you we bow. To you we bow. Breathe into your belly. Feel the fire, the light. Call back the life force. Draw into your body the light, the empowerment of this first full moon of 2021, this fixed fire moon. Let it pull down to awaken and stir alive the life force in your belly. Whatever has been gestating, whatever seeds you begin to plant, let them be filled with light and warmth. Then you begin to awaken. Take a big, big belly breath in, hold, and then sigh out. Wiggle, stretch, rock to one side, and lower to the left side, our lunar side. And if and when you choose, you can find your seat. Maybe hand to heart, hand to belly, or making that inverted triangle, kind of a part of our Manipura yantra. And let yourself rock a little bit. And actually rub your hands before you do that. Get that heat going before you place them. Rub the hands and then hand to heart, hand to belly, or that inverted triangle. We'll finish with our 3 ohms. The first ohm filling your cup. The second ohm as an offering out. Third ohm to our Mama Earth and our Grandmother Moon. Deep breath in. One more time, bring your hands, rub them, and then left hand to the left, palm up, right hand down, connecting our virtual circle, connecting to all beings everywhere, bringing this full moon light. Take another big breath, lift your heart, exhale, hands to the earth, and we bow. I bow to you, I bow to the practice. All blessings be. Thank you. Have a beautiful rest of this full moon. This next couple of days of next week, light your candles, dance, whatever you need to do to connect to that waxing light and heat.